soul with it. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? The Island Ricks TV back with another video, and being as though that we're about, let's say, roughly about a month out away from the start of the NBA regular season, I would like to give you guys a full breakdown of my NBA standings and predictions and where I believe the Lakers and other teams will finish next year. And also, I'll give my prediction on a chain of events that I could see happening in the 2019-2020 season. Now, last year, my prediction was that the Lakers will finish anywhere from a 6th to an 8th seed. And a lot of y'all got mad at me and was like, oh, you don't know basketball. Blah, 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 bruh. Told me I don't know basketball, bro. Around this time last year, they told me that I didn't know basketball because I predicted that the Lakers will finish anywhere from a 6th to an 8th seed. Now, we finished with the 11th seed. That was closer compared to where a lot of other people predicted, and a lot of y'all predicted was saying that the Lakers will get the 2nd seed and blah, 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 right? Obviously, I know a little something about the game, and then y'all told me that the Lakers will be a top 5 seed and blah, blah, blah. Then the media also sold this narrative to you guys that had LeBron James and other players did not get injured, that we would have stayed around the 4th seed and we was the 4th seed and things like that before they got injured. And listen, I watched nearly almost every single game last year, almost every single game, and we lost most of our games because we had trouble closing teams out in the 4th quarter. Teams like the New York Knicks, the Nets, the Cavaliers, the Spurs, Atlanta Hawks, the Bulls, etc. I mean, do I need to go on, people? I mean, we lost to some of the worst teams in the league. And this is why LeBron James was healthy, because we didn't have a closer, which we still don't have right now. So I will recommend you guys go back, do your homework, which ESPN. And I'm not going to put all the blame on LeBron James. Kobe Bryant is another player who happens to be my favorite player, goes out and say the same thing, repeat the same thing and say that the Lakers had injuries and blah. No. The one thing about me, I'm not a biased Lakers fan. I'm a loyal Lakers fan, but I'm objective. I speak the truth, and that's why real Laker fans appreciate this channel, because I don't go out there and sell narratives, okay? I don't change the narrative. I speak the truth, okay? So anyway, moving forward. Here's my standings for next season. So here's my predictions of standings for next season, East and West. Also towards the end of the video, guys, I'll give you guys my prediction of the two teams that I believe will come out the East and the West to face off in the NBA Finals, and who I think will win. Now, keep in mind, guys, that there's going to be a ton of injuries. If you so happen to come back and watch this video a couple months or a year from now, just understand that there may have been injuries and things like that. So with the first seed, I have the Houston Rockets. I think the Rockets will win anywhere from 65 to maybe even 68 games this season. I think that they will be unbelievable in the regular season. With the number 2 seed, I have the Los Angeles Clippers. At the number 3 seed, I have the Portland Trail Blazers. At number 4, I have the Denver Nuggets. At number 5, with the 5th seed, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I'm not going to be biased and say, oh, well, the Lakers are going to get the number 1 seed just because I'm a diehard Lakers fan. No, I don't think with my emotions, okay? I'm realistic, okay? Now, with the 6th seed, I have the Golden State Warriors. With the 7th seed, I have the Utah Jazz. With the 8th seed, I have the San Antonio Spurs. With the 9th seed, I have the Dallas Mavericks. With the 10th seed, I have the Sacramento Kings. With the 11th seed, I have the New Orleans Pelicans. With the 12th seed, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. With the 13th seed, I have the Phoenix Suns. At 14, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. And lastly, with the 15th seed, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the reason I think that the Rockets will have the top seed in the West is because I think they will at least win, like I said, 65 games, possibly 66 or 67, maybe 68 at the highest. They have 2 of the best regular season players in the game. You heard what I said, right? You heard what I said. Regular season, people. Regular season, okay? They both could average a triple-double. Not only in their sleep, but they could average a triple-double while on the toilet taking a dump, okay? Now in playoff time, they MIA as usual. I mean, I don't know where these guys go. They just go. It's like they're not even there. They turn into ghosts. And I'm not talking about the show Power. I'm not talking about Casper, okay? I think once the regular season ends, then in the playoffs, I think you'll see a lot of confrontation between Russell Westbrook and James Harden, and you'll just see them completely disappear. And moving forward, because they're just ball hogs. It's too much ball hogging, okay? And you'll see why Chris Paul had issues playing with James Harden, and why Chris Paul was probably wanting to go. He was probably ready to go anyway. Okay, and you'll see why a lot of players don't get along with Russell Westbrook, and they don't really want to play with Russell Westbrook. So I don't see this team getting past the second seed, or maybe not even the first seed. Now moving on to the Los Angeles Clippers, who I have at the second seed. Now my pops tell me that that I'm being biased and things like that, because he said I'm butthurt because my instincts has told me, I always listen to my instincts, and I believe that, in my honest opinion, and I don't want any player to get injured. I do not want any player to put that out there. I'm not wishing injury on nobody, but just going off based off what happened with Kawhi Leonard. He didn't play in San Antonio after he got injured. He was out of season, and then he barely played like in the beginning. Maybe like he missed a large portion of the Raptors season last season. So I think that injury will play a key with with the Clippers. I don't think they have a better team than the Lakers, but that's just my opinion. So we'll see. With the Nuggets, I think the Nuggets losing Paul Millsap, to me, I think they'll take a minor step back. The Portland Trailblazers have a tremendous team. They just acquired Hassan Whiteside, so I think they'll be better defensively. So that's why I got them at the number 3 seed. But I have an issue. Like, I'm having problems. I'm really getting bothered. Damian Lillard goes out and says he was upset and he was so mad about super teams and Kevin Durant joining the Warriors and just constantly talk about super teams. Then you had CJ McCollum just recently make a statement talking about he was so scared that Kawhi Leonard could have went to the Lakers and things like that. It's like, bro, like, you should look at that like you want to defeat that. Like, super teams are great for the league because it makes people want to go at them. It makes people want to compete against them. And that shouldn't even be your concern. Because the main thing is, without Kevin Durant, most of the times you played, you got knocked out. You got swept. Okay? You got swept. Get the broom. By the New Orleans Pelicans. They got knocked out, I think it was the first round, against the New Orleans Pelicans, bro. Every time you lost to the Warriors, it wasn't even the super teams. You just lost to them when Kevin Durant was out. You lost to them when Steph Curry was out a lot of times. So you shouldn't be worried about that. And CJ McCollum, it's like, bro, like, what do you keep talking about this for? This let me know that these guys don't have the heart and they don't have what it takes to win championships, because a great competitor will look at super team as a challenge. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I want to move forward because I'm just getting irritated by these guys. Anyway, so I have the Lakers at the number 5 seed, and I think that they should rest Anthony Davis and LeBron James once we get towards the playoffs. I just think that LeBron James and Anthony Davis, it will be a figuring out process. And, I think that Anthony Davis has to take a large, put the team on his shoulders and carry a large load, but they have to figure out a way they can balance it. And everybody on this team has to come together so this team could be successful. I could possibly see, Frank Vogel not being around long. I could see him end up getting fired, and I could see Jason Kidd eventually stepping in and becoming the coach. I have the Golden State Warriors at the number 6 seed. I think a lot of people are really underestimating the Golden State Warriors, but the regular season, there's just not that much defense in the beginning of the regular season until it's around playoff time, and it's just about up-tempo, fast-paced, push the ball and transition. So I just think that they'll be able to stay above water until Klay comes back. They still have their main core, and they still have the same team that's there that made them successful, excluding a few parts. Now, they still have Draymond Green. They still have Klay, who's going to come back, who is their second best elite defender. I think Klay will be itching to get back out there. And then they still have the best defender out there with Draymond Green. And I think we will see D'Angelo Russell go to another stratosphere, another level under Steph Curry, who he idolized, and some basketball experts compared to Steph Curry coming into the league when he was drafted. and I think Russell will look unstoppable on some nights. Um, the question is, will D'Angelo Russell make it past the trade deadline? Now, if the Golden State Warriors happen to make a trade, who I think they should trade for is Bradley Beal, and they will have a lethal backcourt of Bradley Beal, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, and I just don't see a lot of teams beating them with that lethal backcourt. And I have them listed as the number 6 seed, but if they get Bradley Beal before the playoffs, I think they could finish anywhere from top 5, possibly higher. Now, moving on, at number 7, I have the Utah Jazz, who I think with Mike Conley, they've gotten even better. But the fact that they don't have a superstar in their team, I think it will prevent them from being the top 5 seed, but they'll still be a great team. Lastly, at number 8, I have the San Antonio Spurs. I just think as long as Greg Popovich is in the league, he'll make the playoffs. I predicted last season that the Spurs would get an 8th seed or they would make the playoffs, which they did. And a lot of people was like, the Spurs aren't going to the playoffs. And a lot of people are probably going to repeat that sentiment this year. Greg Popovich always finds some secret player, which I don't know how he does it. He always finds some extremely talented player who's taking orders at McDonald's, okay, bruh? Taking orders at McDonald's, okay? They still have DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's just going to be a huge battle out west. So the NBA ratings have dropped drastically, and that's why I did the video that's why the Pelicans may have to get down to lay down and will be forced to trade Anthony Davis to the Lakers, because Adam Silver needs his marketing asset LeBron to be in the playoffs so they could recoup money from commercials and things like that. Like, people be thinking I be talking out my head, but I'm just going off of the research that I do myself, okay, that you can also do. Now, as far as the Eastern Conference, I'm only going to do the top 8 seeds because these are going to be the same teams that stay in the rotation every single year. The East is still weak in my opinion. Only the Nets got better for the most part. Now, at number 1, with the number 1 seed, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. With the 2nd seed, I have the Brooklyn Nets. At the 3rd seed, I have the Boston Celtics. I think the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets will switch anywhere from 2 and 3. It can go either or. With the 4th seed, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. I have the Indiana Pacers with the 5th seed. I have the Miami Heat at number 6 because of Jimmy Butler's there now. And at number 7, I have the Orlando Magic. And lastly, at number 8, I have the Detroit Pistons. So as far as the East goes, guys, I think the Bucks will still be a solid team. They lost Malcolm Brogdon, but they still played well without him last year in the playoffs. Now, the Nets I think they will be a great team. They were great last year. And I think once you add Kyrie, it will be a filling out process, but I still think with their pieces that they have, I think that they'll go to another level. I'm a huge fan of shooters. You guys know that. And one of my favorite players is over there, Joe Harris. He's a great shooter. The Celtics, I think they will be a lot better. I've seen a lot of Jason Tatum working out over the summer. His footwork has gotten extremely better working with Kobe and things like that. And I just think they will just have fun with Kemba Walker. The Sixers, they lost J.J. Redick and Jimmy Butler and a few other pieces like Covington. So I just think they're going to take a huge step back. Not a drastic step back, but I think they're going to take a step back. But lastly, on the East, I just think whatever team that could pull off a trade, whatever team in the top 3 that I have, if they can acquire Bradley Beal, I just think Bradley Beal puts a team over the top. I don't have the Raptors anywhere in the top seed or finishing where they finished last year or being that great of a team. Just the fact that they lost Kawhi and Danny Green and other pieces, and they lost DeRozan, I think they could be on the verge of being a playoff team possibly. But if they're able to pull off a trade to get Bradley Beal, I think they could get up in that discussion of being in a playoff contention. I think the Nets, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Magic, or any team in the top in the West, if they acquire Bradley Beal, he instantly puts them over the top, period. And that's just my opinion. And even though I don't see this team making the playoffs this year, I truly believe they will have a ton of success and be very exciting. And I'm talking about the New York Knicks. People are underestimating the Knicks. I think Julius Randle will have an outstanding season. I wish they would have drafted Darius Garland and put him beside Julius Randle and other pieces. I think that he would have been phenomenal, shooting. I think that it's like with Darius Garland, I think it's another situation of passing up on Steph Curry, but that's my opinion for the New York Knicks. And I just think that this season it'll just be a fun it'll be fun to watch next season. As far as facing off in the finals, I think that the Lakers will face off against the Clippers in the Western Conference, which would be super high ratings, or maybe before the Western Conference Finals. But that's just my the Nets and possibly the Celtics battling out in the Eastern Conference. But this is just my opinion. It's like, people don't like me saying this, but I'm gonna continue to repeat this. I think that Kobe will come out of retirement this season, and I think that he could possibly win the NBA Finals. And that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong about that, that's fine. I don't care. Like, I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion. As far as for the East, like I said, I think the Lakers will face off. I think the Lakers will make the finals, and the reason I think that is because Adam Silver and his connections, and Adam Silver and LeBron James connection. And I just think it's just going to come down to ratings, because if the Lakers make the finals, it's just going to be super high. It's just going to be profitable. It's just going to be a profitable opportunity for the NBA. And that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Like I said, it's nothing wrong with being wrong. So I just have the Lakers, and I'm leaning towards the Celtics and the NBA Finals, the 2020 NBA Finals. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If anybody took the time to watch this video, I truly appreciate you guys. I'm trying to do more videos. Like I said, I have a work schedule where I work 12 hours back to back on the weekends. That's 24 hours for those of you who don't understand. So I work a lot. And I'm working on other things, other businesses, other athletic wear, and selling things and things like that. So I'm trying to put out videos as much as I can. Hopefully you guys can still support the channel. I'm going to try to drop as much content as I can. And I just wish all you guys nothing but success and nothing but the best. Stay safe out there. I love you guys. I'm out.